My name is Sandy Pamenter. I'm 66 years old and I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I started my journey in September 2003. I was diagnosed. I had a mastectomy during that month and I was started with my chemotherapy in October. I had 12 rounds of chemotherapy, finished in April, and I started 25 radiation treatments. It was not the life I had expected. It was a very big surprise when I was diagnosed. I have no cancer diagnosis in my family with breast cancer. I had no inkling of what I was in for. My journey was going to be something that was beyond what I had ever expected it to be. But because I have a very supportive family and I have a very strong faith in God, I was able to get beyond what I needed to do to get through the treatments successfully. I have always had a problem with breast cysts all my life, and I had always been very cautious as to examining my breasts myself. And in January of 2003, I had a lump that was concerning me, and I had a mammogram and it didn't show anything up. But when it became an issue in September, I pursued it a little further and I had a biopsy, and that was when I was diagnosed with the cancer. It was probably very difficult for me in the beginning to understand that I was diagnosed with cancer. That happens to everybody else. It doesn't happen to me. And it took me a while to really understand the severity of what I was going to face. Probably not knowing what was ahead was an advantage in some ways, because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what chemo was going to be like, didn't know what radiation was going to be like. I think now if I had a re-diagnosis, I think I would be a lot more concerned and a lot more maybe nervous and apprehensive about the whole ordeal, because knowing what I had experienced previously was kind of walking in blind faith, you might say, because not knowing what was going to happen. I did have some moments where I was very low, very ill, and wondered what was next, but did manage to make it through my journey. I was very pleased at how my outside family, my church family, my work family supported me. I know that many people know the poem, The Footprints, and what that means, but never did I understand it truly until I experienced it. And then I really did experience the fact that God did carry me during that time, and I'm so thankful for that. When I was diagnosed, my family did not expect me to have that kind of a diagnosis. I've been a very healthy person all my life. They were surprised, of course, but not to the point where they were exceptionally upset about it all. They knew I am a strong person, and that their support, as well as my lifestyle with my faith, was going to carry me through. I have a son in Winnipeg who I found it very difficult to give my diagnosis to, because he wasn't right there. I had to tell him over the phone, so I found that quite a bit more difficult to do. I had a very difficult time telling my brother that I had cancer, because his wife at the very same time was dying from lung cancer, so that was a very difficult time for him and for me also. I had one incident where my daughter had come home from living in Winnipeg, and unexpectedly she had decided to move home just prior to my diagnosis. That was an especially great event for me, because she was very supportive. She stayed in our house, and one thing that really meant so much to me was I was in bed one day not feeling well at all, and my daughter just came in, laid down beside me, never said a word to me, but that meant more to me than probably a lot of things that had happened in my journey. I was contacted by a lady who was involved in a cancer support group, and she invited me to attend one of their meetings. And she was very kind and gracious, and she asked me if I would like to just to come and sit in and listen to what some of the other ladies were involved in. And I went, and I don't think I have missed any of those meetings since 2003. When the group changed a little bit as far as the dynamics were concerned. Our facilitator had passed away with cancer, and one of the other girls in the group and myself, we had decided that we didn't want the group to stop meeting because it was so important for all these people to share their feelings and just come and either sit or chat or share or cry, whatever they needed to do. And Judy and I took on the task of being co-facilitators in the Emmaus support group in Belleville. I did have times where I was very depressed, and I don't think that's very unusual for someone who's going through that kind of a trauma in their life. But I did get through it, of course. I am a survivor, and I'm happy to say I am a survivor, and I have been a survivor for a number of years now. And it was a difficult journey. In many ways, I would not have missed it for the world, because it has given me opportunity to be places I've never been before, has given me opportunity to speak to other cancer survivors and other people that are experiencing cancer. And if I had not had the opportunity to experience this journey in my life, I would not have met some wonderful people and some very strong people who have encouraged me, and hopefully I have encouraged them as well.